Whip. Hey! Welcome back, everybody. I'm a Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ 1.14. And we're going to go over the patch notes real quick. We have a pretty heady list here. Just so you know, 1.14 has just hit experimental branch. That is for Xbox and PC. But don't worry, PlayStation players. That means it will be coming to all of us, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. As soon as the experimental branch is stable, it will move over to live branch. All right, so let's go over some of these changes. Just so you know, this does usher in the contaminated zones or the toxic zones and a lot of extra gameplay, and it looks like some items and possibly a new weapon. So let's go take a look. Beep boop. Okay, right away added to the game, we have static and dynamic spawning contaminated areas. Again, I think that might trail with artillery. I should say real quick, we will be live streaming this over on the Xbox. Again, if you're PlayStation, don't worry, that's going to give you a PlayStation experience as we are on the same version. At least when it goes live. Contaminated diseases. So basically what I'm saying is look out for the live stream. We'll show you what's up. Exhaustible gas mask filter. That's cool. I wonder if they take... I always want to say carbon, charcoal, but it looks like maybe you just screw off the bottom portion of it. NVPVS scope. New visual effects when wearing specific headgear. A yellow variant of the NBC suit. POX antidote. Okay. That might be what the green Medipen looks like. NBC infected. Field hospital at Northeast Airfield Chernarus. And field hospital at Lacau Airfield in Livonia. Craftable tripwire. Craftable fish net trap, excuse me. Craftable small fish trap, which is half of a water bottle. I think it's cut off the top. Craftable snare trap. New animal carcasses can be picked up. Hare, chicken, rooster, sardines, and bitterlings. I have no idea what a bitterling is. Hair, leg, and pelt. New animation for stealth kill when one-handed piercing weapons. When using one-handed piercing weapons. Okay. And again, this is the Xbox change list, but this is going to be very similar to the PC and almost identical to the PlayStation when that does hit. Just so you know. Xbox set to PTBR was not always displaying Portuguese. PlayStation sometimes not showing Portuguese language when PTBR is selected as local. Subtitles in the introduction video were not translated into PTBR. Materials attached to base building objects had arrows indicating that additional actions were possible when they weren't. Logs attached to Watchtower kit could not be picked back up. That's cool that they fixed that. Mackerel was incorrectly placed in hands. It did look quite funny. Excuse me. The ground in specific structures would hide mines and bear traps. Noises from rolling on the ground would not alert infected, so that is a thing now. A previously extinguished fire would start to glow again when fuel was added. Garden plots could appear floating in specific areas. The brooms resembled the wrong material when hit. Brooms could be used to open cans. It amazes me what people find. It really does. Texture of damaged tactical goggles wasn't displayed. Placing hologram was not displayed properly inside of the guardhouse. Hologram. Okay. It was possible to damage a prone player when hitting a nearby wall. Character would turn towards a target it was not targeting during melee combat. Excuse me. Player turning towards the first target it hit instead of the new target during melee combat. Player turning towards the middle point of the target instead of the hit position during melee combat. Player choosing to step forward when they are close enough to the target during melee. Okay, sounds like a lot of melee stuff here. Bear and cow would not receive damage when the player melees them in the face with bare fist and one-handed. That's so violent. Field transceiver simulated the wrong weight when thrown. Alright, in several situations, sounds outside of the audible range would start from the beginning regardless of how long the sound had been playing. Remove pushback effect from explosions for the player. Wind effect was enabled in the inventory item previews. The foliage could provide cover from explosions. Several Spanish letters were not properly capitalized. AI could spawn in inaccessible locations, so inside of the geometry, question mark. Adding missing collisions to the small ATC railing. Added missing bed and large medical tent. One of the weapon reloads was not functional while lying on the back. Emptying animation was canceled when executed over water. Removing materials from the truck or base building objects via the widget could result in desync. Boo, desync. Okay, that's cool that they got it though. Players did not cough when aiming with a weapon or lying on their backs. Grenade explosions would not reach all the items throughout the container and attachments. Ah, an iteration thing? Well, either way, it's fixed. Rags and bandages kept their disinfectant status after being used to craft a fireplace or torch. It was problematic to damage the M3S truck engine or find the widget to repair it. Wooden crates could be accessed through walls. Okay, that's good that they fixed that for sure. Mushrooms did not decay properly. AB blood type wasn't properly displayed. Exploit that allowed extended range of melee attacks. Restraining a player could interrupt the actions of other users in the surrounding areas. When drinking from a pot in a prone position with the wrong animation would be played. Man, see, there's tons of stuff. When splitting the M3S double wheel, the two wheels would spawn inside of each other. An empty gasoline canister would have the wrong weight after relog. Oof. Yeah, they're already pretty heavy to begin with, right? Names of the 45-round KA-74 magazine and 60-round standardized magazine were displayed in lowercase letters on the ground. Fix flawed building occluders. Fix some bad LODs, that stands for level of detail. So models get less detail as they go further away. So that's what LOD stands for. Hold breath, out of breath sound effects were not working for some character models. Flash grenade was not blinding the vicinity enough. Faster recovery from unconsciousness that was induced by a projectile hit. Doors that were locked on the server are showing open on the client, making them impossible to open. Oh, boo. I'm glad that's fixed. ATOG 6X scope was having rendering issues when observed from close distance. Okay, so they changed. Dude, this list is huge. Wearing a gas mask slows down stamina regeneration. That makes sense, yeah, because you're not breathing as much. Gas masks now prevent the wearer from eating, drinking, and taking pills. Ooh, that's really going to change things up if you're in that area. There must be good loot. That's what I'm saying. Gas masks can now be repaired with epoxy putty and tire repair kit. Oh, okay, that makes sense with the tire thing. The MBC respirator and gas mask require gas mask filters to function. The combat gas mask has limited, integrated, non-exchangeable filters. Oh, does that mean they wear out? Interesting. Improved visual quality of combat gas mask. Improved visual quality of the bear. Oh, geez, those are terrifying. Removed spawn points that were too close to static contaminated areas. Improved targeting of melee combat to be more forgiving. Tweaked the look of the Russian helicopter crash site. Helicopter crash sites now emit sounds upon spawn in the surrounding areas. Oh, would that like a crash sound? Like a crash? Tweak the smoke quality of crash sites to make them more visible. Adjusted collision geometry of the machete. Horticulture. Plants are now moving in the wind. That's fancy. Cholera now causes fever. Man, cholera is nasty. Food poisoning now causes fatigue. Salmonella now causes light pain. Nighttime acceleration period adjusted to only influence the actual nighttime. Reduce the size of the MBC clothing when stored in the inventory. That's nice. MBC clothing can now also be repaired with the tire repair kit. Okay, so it looks like a lot of this toxic zone stuff is can be repaired with it because it's basically canvas, right? It's no longer possible to build a stone oven if it would be clipped with a large item. Interesting. I can only imagine how people are using that. Two-handed and non-piercing weapons are no longer suitable for stealth attacks. Names of servers will only show once the server browser is done loading and if it's possible to connect. The flash grenade uses a stronger light that lasts longer than that of the regular fragmentation grenades. Overheating effect of fire harms appears later. Ooh. Boiled food will no longer burn from boiling. That's awesome. That's because you know food is such a big deal. Baked and dried food can be boiled without burning. Wait, did we get... Yeah, that was just... Okay, I get it now. Damage of weapons is significantly lowered when they enter the ruined state. The mackerel now yields 2 fillets. Ooh! Adjusted the mackerel fillet mottle. Water and fountains and metal troughs are now visual only, so you can't fish out of them. Oh, man. Updated the credits. Okay, we got a few economy things here. Let me just Yep, and then we're good. Added the new contamination area usage flag. Okay. Typo and spawning presets. Soda can Franta is now Franta is now Franta. Wow, that's super confusing. Is that Fanta? Riffy shipwrecks, shipwreck loot spawn points. Nice. Looks like that's one of the infected areas as far as we know based off of the video. Infected zone definition inside of CFG event spawns.xml is now properly read. Previously it was ignored and used default values. Random loot, this is for modders and stuff. Spawning of high-value items across dynamic events, contaminated areas, and T4 areas. That stands for Tier 4 loot areas. High-tier weapons are not limiting spawn anymore when stored in storage. Oh my goodness, that's huge. That's so huge. That's huge. All right, D-loot is now correctly randomized. That's so cool. So like, oh, that's so massive for the loot economy across the board. Dynamic event now properly randomizes nominal value between min and max parameters. Woodland ghillie suit color now varies across maps. Hell yeah. Chernarus now spawns only mossy variants, and Livonia spawns woodland variants. Cool. Ammo boxes now spawn with random ammunition packs inside. Increase the maximum number of items that can spawn on a helicopter crash event by 50%. Nice. And known issues. Ambient sounds of the contaminated areas might follow the player after leaving the area. So maybe logging in and out may fix that. We'll have to wait and see. But there you go. Those are the known changes or current changes for the experimental for 104, which brings in the toxic or contaminated sounds. Look at that wind. And as this develops, because there are multiple iterations as they develop this in experimental, we'll let you guys know what the final patch notes are once those come through. And again, don't worry, PlayStation, you're not being left behind. You guys would have this again on experimental, but Sony doesn't support that yet. I really, really hope that they come to their senses on that. So just know that anything you see on the Xbox version is going to be coming for you guys as well. So hang in there. And if you found this useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like. And if you think, again, if it's something you would like to watch in the future, consider dropping that subscribe and turning on those notifications. We'll see you guys in the next live stream / video. Bye!